Here's Eriksson, a good chance in the slot. Shouldered away by Stuart Skinner. Tough early test. Now McDavid breaks in on his backhand ditches, and a save made. Volstead had time to get over and stop.
Hi, Emerson. I mean, that's the body getting in front of that one. Good stick by Spurgeon.
They're also missing a young player they like by the name of Danila Yurov, who's been playing at times first-line center for Minnesota. Here's Curtis Lazar, back door, and a quick shot, sharp angle, and a save made. 5-2-2 thus far at Rogers Place. Wild are 6-4-1, meanwhile on the road. Bouchard to Ekholm. The shot flutters into the waiting glove of Volstead. Another battle won, this one by Middleton. Trennan got bowled over. A quick shot taken by Frederick. Then glanced out, held in by Kulak at the point, who lifts off the short glass. Minnesota's equivalent of Bouchard. And he got off to a slow start this year as well. Regula steps up and shoots, and a save made by Volstead. Kaprizov leads the Wild with 7 power play goals. He and Draisaitl tied for second in the league. Takes a shot, rebound, couple of whacks at it for Eriksson. The puck stays out.
Killed off some time on his own there.
Here's Jared Spurgeon hitting the line with a quick shot. Tarasenko not much on it. He did keep it in against Regula. Tarasenko, 6-time 30-goal scorer, had it batted down by Regula. Rebound, Brock Faber. Through Lazar, fed back to the point, Spurgeon. Tarasenko, Spurgeon a wrist shot, and that was deflected wide. Rebound, Tarasenko. Spent last year in Detroit, scored just 11 goals. Over to Faber. One-timer Spurgeon, and that was towed aside by Skinner. Rebound, Tarasenko. 10 seconds on the power play. Minnesota trying to break the scoreless tie. Tarasenko loads and fires. Save made by Skinner. Rebound. Front four controlled and cleared by Regula.
Maple Leafs in the Mammoth.
And a blast by Brodin off the draw. Beats Skinner glove side, and Minnesota takes a 1-0 lead with Draisaitl and McDavid on the ice.
Offensive zone face-off, one cleanly back, and he just ripped this one. It's just, he steps into it. I mean, this one comes directly back to him, and he just lets this one go. It's Sturm with the win. He wins this one cleanly, dribbles right back. I don't think it tips, maybe a tiny screen in the high slot, but it's because he just blasts this one through. We'll take a look. Fly-by screen in the high slot. That's exactly what it is.
Yet to turn 20. He'll do so on Sunday. Still just 19. We're losing sight of the puck was Frederick. Here's Kaprizov. Sharp angle and a save made by Skinner. On Minnesota's number 97. Hard rim up the right-hand side. In case you're wondering, yeah, Kaprizov also a 2015 pick. Wrist shot off the Russian. Draisaitl tied up at center with Eriksson. Turned over. Now Spurgeon will jump up. 3-on-2 Minnesota. Shot Eriksson. And a save and no rebound issued by Stuart Skinner. And then Boldy's gone on a heater. Ekholm the outlet. Evan Bouchard. Oilers looking for the equalizer. Snapshot Nugent Hopkins. Save Volstead.
It's a little help stick in the lane. Turnover as that one's scooped up by Skinner on the wrister off the faceoff.
Wild built momentum from there. Here's a steal, Nugent Hopkins. A shot thwarted by Hartman. A blast by Kulak. And that's snared by Jesper Volstead. And for a team that was the last one in last year, you started thinking, uh-oh, is this it for this indoctrination of Minnesota Wild players? Are they going to break it up? Minnesota beginning of a 4-game trip. Calgary Thursday, and then on to Vancouver and Seattle. Here's Nico Sturm feeding the slot. At practice by my partner yesterday, thought it was a new player. Here's Nugent Hopkins, a shot. That was fought off by Volstead. Best chance in a while for Edmonton. Henrique, newly shorn facial hair, crossed up my partner.
He's had 3 different looks. He shaved the beard early on, left the stash, shaved the stash, and now he's got the clean look. Looks 10 years younger.
Nurse, well, his clean look lasts all of, what, about 20 minutes. He's got the heaviest beard in the league. Regula. Draisaitl loads and fires. Easy save for Volstead. Here's Ekholm using a screen from Savoy. Bouchard to Connor McDavid. Beautiful drag move to the net. Backdoor redirected, and then a save on Savoy.
Wallstedt shrugs that one off with the shoulder. Here's McDavid looking backdoor. Savoy was wide open. I think Hyman trying to kick that one to his stick. If it goes through, I think Savoy's right there looking at him tickling the rafters. Probably gets a pretty good look. But Wallstedt was right there.
Louis, the Wild 5 have been out there for a minute 10. Draisaitl wins the faceoff. So let's see how Minnesota handles this. Bouchard to Draisaitl, saucered over to Ekholm, loads and fires one off the post.
Ekholm blast, he walks in. If you're allowed to walk into the dot, why not give it a try? And that's exactly what he does.
Time down to 55 seconds. Finally rolls out to Bouchard. Now McDavid. Draisaitl in front. Backhander. Hyman stuffed. Rebound. McDavid pulling into an area. Out to Bouchard. A blast and a save made. Time to go in the second. 1-0 Minnesota. Wallstedt able to deny Zach Hyman. Can't freeze it. Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard. Draisaitl. Hyman in the slot. The save. Wallstedt. Rebound available. And finally ripped down the right-hand side by Johansson. Minnesota will get the long change. Edmonton changes it up. Minus this man, Connor McDavid. He's staying out for the full 2 minutes. Weaves to his left. Throttled by Spurgeon. Chance for a clear. Fails. Nurse knocked it down just inside the blue line. Looking for Henrique. Savoy snapped it out. Ekholm fires. And that stayed out. Continues to dig in. Another chance, Bogosian. Here's a shot and a save made by Stuart Skinner on Bouillon. Cycle disrupted by Tyler Pitlick, who of course broke in with Edmonton as their 31st pick back in 2010. Shot by Nurse. Edmonton dominant in the face-off circle, better than 70% tonight. Draisaitl wins another one. He, McDavid, and Hyman getting a shift 5-on-5. Draisaitl, a stop made by Wallstedt, and another penalty earned in front as Hyman kind of soccered away by Hartman. And now a giveaway. Savoy against Spurgeon. Inside to Henrique, to the net. And Wallstedt held his ground. Through the blue paint, carried off the corner boards out to Bogosian. Now a chance for Zuccarello, point blank, and a save up near the clavicle made by Skinner. He'll squeeze it.
To hug that post. Little forechecking here by Hartman, and Zuccarello never really looks at Skinner, so he's looking at Kaprizov the whole time selling paths.
Adam Henrique wedges one behind the Minnesota net. Grabbed it back, tried to sneak it through Wallstedt. The other thing, and we showed it to you on that replay, Louis, that Minnesota's done a nice job of letting Wallstedt see the puck. Spurgeon not getting.
Apparently it was the effects mic that fell into the bench there they were laughing about.
Here's Boldy. Bulldozing his way in, and I think he's drawn a penalty on Nurse for a hold.
Power play. They weren't really amounting to a whole lot, but the power play gave them some life. And Boldy, who, as you mentioned, hasn't had a ton of chances in this one. Good stick right there to bobble this puck in the air, and then as he's trying to stay with it. That's why he's quarterback in the top power play unit, by the way. And
Eriksson Ek in front, and a one-touch from Kaprizov got through to Skinner. Power play 24% coming in. Bouillon, a shot, deflected, save, Skinner rebounded the blue paint. Hackett and whacking, and Skinner splayed out.
Kulak, Emberson was in there too. Here it is. Eriksson Ek's a big human. Bounces right off at him, and as he comes down, he kind of shoves the pad of Skinner. That would have been an interesting review for me. If you watch his stick, he goes right into the pad, lands on him. I don't know if that would have been able to count, but he was shoved. Sorry, that's a pretty good shove by Emerson that puts him in there.
And then Zuccarello was stopped by Skinner.
Yep.
Did Zuccarello try to head that one? He did.
Sure.
Chipped up the left-hand side.
Yeah,
You've got Hartman.
No, I'm getting up above you.
Kaprizov in front, redirects it just wide. David looking for Hyman. Takes the puck in, tried to feed the point. Here's Bouchard breaking loose down low, back here. And that was stopped by Wallstedt.
The right players on the ice. Here's a great little toe drag right here by Bouchard that threads this one through for Hyman. That's a couple chances.
Back to center, but that's all. Bouchard will move it to Draisaitl. Play is onside. Faber with a chance to eat it. He'll take it into the corner, and the horn goes, and Minnesota has survived 1-0.